counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad being pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, I make pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet points to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ay, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she want it like me cause her blame, she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts. Whole team counting, that's a big number.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the New York Giants. With that, let's get up to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Nowhere there to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Back to throw. Herbert, it's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And the starting offense now for the Giants.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor blitz coming, and down he goes.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority.
He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Texans now for their first drive. Leading him out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. His first carry. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now a give, right side. It's Hines. And he's able to get up here to the 26. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that big-time game?
To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson flushed out, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Levante David able to get in there and drop him behind the line. Throwing on 3rd down. Watson, man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. So that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
From the 41, Watson rolling to his left. And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 36 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? Because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. A give to Kamara running right. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. These two teams all tied after one. Texans football to start quarter two, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing on third and long. Herbert. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Herbert. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. From the gun, Herbert, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Now here's Ross. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And here comes the Texans now. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 23 yards, the final tally.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Turn up.
Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. It's caught at the 10. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A gain of 32 that time. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations. Because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
Jim.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On second down, it's Hines. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It'll be a gain of 4, but it'll bring us now to a 3rd and goal. On third down, Hines. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's end.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Back to throw. Herbert under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Matt Weil now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Out of the gun, Watson. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game. Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson, and his throw is incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they're throwing it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Texans to take over. They were victorious a week ago over Philadelphia. They lead here as well as they start out 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Hines. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They run again with Hines. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check 31. Check 59. Check 55.
On 3rd down, Hines. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Watson. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. From the gun, here's Watson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
He's checking quick. Check three.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Chips over here. There's overload. 85.
Watson looks to throw again, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is third down and 8. Again, it's Watson, and that is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Like the footwork back there, I thought you did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Trying to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Yeah, they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking to throw. Herbert, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Check. 19. To the car. Check. Spot.
On first down, it's Hines. A beautiful fake. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. When you gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. You want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards there and a first down. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Now it's Hines, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go.
Watch the slant. Motion. Alert flare. Switch.
On 3rd down, Hines. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
Under pressure, they got him again.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the sack.
And he's going to go down again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They could put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. On 4th down, Herbert going deep here for Stills. And that is incomplete. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And an utter disaster as the ball's going to go over on downs at the 2-yard line. And a failure on 4th down on the other side leads immediately to a 1st and goal. Here's Hines on the toss play. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Nyheim Hines, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
And New York set to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches? And
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Ross on the return. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And Watson's going to throw it here. Sliding out of the pocket. And unable to connect on the long pass. He actually brings it in, but he was out of bounds, incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fella's got the memo. And they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get him.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
There was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on first down, second down, third down, all three incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, and I got a chance.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Back to throw. Herbert. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Operating from the gun. Herbert. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Texans are going to win the football game. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Watson. He'll buy some time right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. On the move to his left. Going for it all. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Throwing again. Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans push further out in front.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And the lead is now 24. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a hole.
And the pressure gets to him again. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. From the gun, Herbert under pressure again, and down he goes again. Randy Gregory in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Houston, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Get ready, dog.
This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went.
Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went.
Legs on the head, all being moved in a frenzy.
The blends be all the right cred.
Meaning credentials.
Best of both worlds
When we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental.
Are you ready?
Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter rock. Turn it up, we giving a show.
But can you rock it like rocket
What you
fuel?
talking about? Space or out your mind?
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's a
fool?
close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever.
Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver.
All about running the spot.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A+ the final.
Vocals we align will move